Oof. Yeah, this intersection's bad. Accidents all the time. Looks pretty rough. So one car is there. Clearly it's spun. One of them spun because the other one's over there. You can see they're taking care of somebody there, unfortunately. That sucks. Hello and welcome to Wednesday. It's 2:30 p.m. We're off of work, heading home. I am scheduled to DoorDash at 3 o'clock, but I didn't bring in a different shirt and I didn't bring a different pair of shoes. And I really don't like DoorDashing in this outfit because I'm already dirty. And I mean, I'm wearing my uniform, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it feels weird. So I'm on the fence. It's gonna be a little after 3 o'clock if I go home, change my shirt, change my shoes, and then head back out in the opposite direction to where I normally DoorDash. It would be well after 3:30 before I get started. Damn near 3:45, honestly, with traffic. I'm kind of thinking about skipping it and just going to the gym. I'm behind a day on the gym, so I'm like, do I just go to the gym instead of DoorDashing? Stream? I got 31 minutes to figure it out. 3:45 p.m. I decided to not go DoorDashing. I actually want to go to the gym, so I'm going to go to the gym. Come home. It's 3:45, so by the time I get home, I don't know if I'll do anything when I get back, but I did schedule myself to DoorDash for Friday. So cross my fingers, I don't forget, bring all my stuff with me, get out of there a decent time, and I can do some DoorDashing Friday. Maybe have a better luck than I did last week on a Wednesday. Only reason I did a Wednesday last week and this week was because my original workout schedule was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but then I changed it to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so it doesn't really matter, honestly, at this point. So that's the plan. Panini night. Look at that bread. Look at the size of that thing.
You're hungry, right?
Heck yeah.
Massive sandwich.
I'm always hungry. It's like one of the best purchases. Was that a gift or was it just, did we just buy that?
Yes.
I think it was a Christmas gift, yeah. We got tomatoes, avocados, bell peppers, turkey, avocado, little salad on the side, spring mix. Ooh, ooh. Look at that. Oh, and those little cheese crisps. Yeah, those are the best. Is this mine?
Did you drink mine first?
Oh, it's smart. It needs to cool off. I finally get to open up my red wine vinaigrette that I bought on clearance. It's in the cupboard. No, vinaigrettes are my favorite salad dressing across the board. Anytime I'm at a restaurant, I get a salad. I always ask what vinaigrettes they have. Balsamic vinaigrette, red wine vinaigrette. Hell, I'll even just do red wine vinegar and oil. Oil and vinegar. That's delicious. But usually nowadays, restaurants will have some kind of vinaigrette, like, you know, lemon poppy seed or avocado this, or, you know, raspberry is a real popular one, though not my favorite. But I'll always go with the vinaigrette, hands down, across the board for my salads. It actually makes me look forward to it. Oh, look at that! Look at that! See those marks, those lines? A little after 7 p.m. It's windy outside. We were watching the news during dinner and they were just saying how it's really windy across the state right now. Thought I'd go for a little walk and talk. It's been a while since we've done one, and as of right now, I don't really have a vlog because I was anticipating doing DoorDash and that didn't work out, so here we are. Obviously by now you've probably heard about the tragedy that happened in Utah. A man was assassinated at a rally, public speaking engagement, and regardless of your political views and how you felt about the guy, good or bad, it's tragedy. He was a husband, he was a father, he was someone's son, brother, you know, etc. And to be murdered for political reasons is absolutely disgusting. It's actually the next podcast topic that I want to talk about is why I don't talk about politics and religion publicly. But what I do want to talk about is the aftermath of this event, and specifically a conversation I had with someone. This person reached out to me because they are struggling with the responses that this person was seeing from people they know, friends, family, people they look up to, they follow. And this person didn't necessarily agree with the person that died's political views and rhetoric, and specifically some things that this person said specifically. So they had a very kind of negative outlook on this person, and a lot of the responses that they were seeing from these are the people that they follow and look up to, and were very positive and very it was sending them mixed signals, and they were having a hard time digesting it because they look so negatively towards this person for things that they've said that it confused them that these other people that they like, they love, they look up to, they follow, thought so positively of this person. And I've been there. I definitely can relate to that. We all have opinions, regardless if we share them or not. We all have opinions on what we think is right and wrong, what we agree with, what we disagree with. And part of being a human is being able to live with those differences with other people. And unfortunately, we live in the world, specifically we live in a country, that people cannot do that. We're at the point now where people belittle other people. They berate them, they hate them, they wish violence and death upon people who have different views. And this comes down to, and again, I'll talk about this in the podcast when I actually do this episode, this comes down to a belief system. Some people believe so hard, their convictions about their beliefs are so strong that it supersedes logic, it supersedes compassion, it supersedes everything else. That if someone else is on the opposing side of those beliefs, they're willing to do anything, everything to stop it, to silence it. And that's where we're at in the world today, where people, argue on social media and post videos and, acts of violence, and it's crazy. So I told this person, I said, you just have to come to terms that the people that that you're friends with, that you love, people that you look up to, if you have different opinions with them, then you have to be okay with that. And if you're not okay with that, then you have a decision to make. You either say something, tell them, hey, look, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with that, whatever. And I want you to know that. I need you to know that. I need you to know that I disagree with you. I think this, and this is why I think this. Or you stay silent and just live with the knowledge of knowing that you see differently than this other person. And if you can't, if you're kind of in the middle there, you're like, well, look, I can't continue listening to this person and the rhetoric and hear their, what they believe in when I disagree so wholeheartedly, then you have to distance yourself. And it's hard when it's friends, family, loved ones, right? It's hard when it's someone that you look up to, and, aside from maybe politics, aside from maybe, religion, whatever, aside from that, everything else is great. Everything else, you're like, I love this person. Love everything they say. Love everything they stand for. If your opinions and your convictions are so strong that it supersedes all that other stuff, then that's when you have to cut ties. That's when you have to step back, step away, be the bigger person, right? And sometimes the bigger person is being the one that steps away, not the one, like, in my opinion, being the quiet one is the bigger person, right? Because I'm not starting an argument. I'm not starting a fight. I'm not looking for confrontation. I told this person, my opinions are not strong enough to say them out loud. I just don't care enough about anything to tell you about it. That's really what it comes down to. Sure, there's things I care about. There's things that I want. There's things that I hope for. But at the end of the day, I am just a speck of dust on this giant blue ball, and I just don't feel like my opinion is that important. If someone asks me for it, I'll give it. You want my opinion? I'll give it to you, no problem. But I just don't feel like openly giving it, standing on a soapbox with a microphone and being like, hey, this is what I think. And I told him that. That's what I told this person. And I said, so you just have to make a decision. You know, are your opinions and your convictions, are they so strong that you feel the need to say something with the possibility of having an argument with the possibility of them looking at you differently? Because that's the other thing too, right? You're in this predicament because they opened their mouth. They shared their opinion. You're having these mixed feelings because now you know the truth. You know what they think. You know what they feel like. That's one of the reasons why growing up, my generation did not talk politics. Nobody wanted to know who you voted for. No one wanted to know if you were a Democrat or Republican. Why? Because inevitably, there's going to be a disagreement. Inevitably, there's going to be a point where you're like, okay, well, I think we should go this direction. And you're saying we should go that direction. And we fundamentally disagree. You just didn't talk about it. And now it's like openly, people like wear t-shirts and hats and flags and bumper stickers, and it's everywhere. You can't get away from it. And unfortunately, for some people, that is like making this public announcement of what you believe in, what you stand for, what you like, what you don't like, right? It was really big back in 2020. And I mean, it's still big now, but it was really big back then. You gotta make the decision. Do you want them to know what you think? Do you want them to know what you feel? Do you want them to know that you are on opposing sides, so to speak? If you're okay with that, then go for it. Like, speak your mind. So we ended the conversation. Didn't talk much after that. That was pretty much the point of the conversation. And I just want to say, good luck. Let me know how it goes. Let me know what you decide. If you decide to talk about it, or if you decide to just stay silent. A lot of people say that silence is just as bad. Saying nothing at all is admitting to something, or not saying anything at all is part of the problem. And I understand their point. I understand where they're coming from. I disagree. I disagree. I think most of the time, keeping your mouth shut is just the right thing to do. Unless you are, the whole, don't speak unless you're spoken to situation, right? And I feel like it's the same thing with cancel culture and boycotting of businesses. The moment a business says they support something, or they are doing something in favor of a group, or in favor of an ideology, right? Inevitably, it splits their customer base in half. And maybe not half's not, but a third, easily. Because there's some people like me who just don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a shit what you do. Like, your food's good, I'm gonna eat your food. I like your product, I'm gonna get your product. I don't give a shit what the CEO does when they're not the CEO. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't care enough for it to affect me like that. But a lot of people do. So as soon as like a business says, hey, we're supporting this, they're like, F that business. I'm not gonna give them any more of my money. Like, I can't believe you ruined it, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But that's all because that CEO opened their mouth. All because the marketing team did some new promotion, right? How many brands have we seen get canceled or boycotted because they supported someone or something, right? They spoke up about the reasons why they're making changes, right? And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have individuals that have said things or done things, and a political party wants them canceled. Cancel their show, take them off TV. They should lose everything they own, right? It's the same thing. Left versus right, it's the exact same thing. Cancel culture on both sides. One cares more about businesses, the other one cares about more individuals, and it's the same, it's the same shit over and over and over again. People have gotten to the point where their beliefs, whether it be politics or religion, are so strong that they're willing to throw out logic and compassion for their belief system. And in my opinion, that is just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. There are wars being fought right now for religion. There have been wars fought for politics. Left versus right. fights going on, civil unrest in other countries, in this country. And all because of a belief system. People forget that we're all human beings. People forget that we're all, in this country, Americans. Like, left versus right doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're both Americans. Red, and blue, red, white, and blue, right? And that's the problem, is people don't care about that. People don't think that. If you're on the other side, then screw you. You can leave the country. You know, there's talks like we should cut states up and make different countries. Like, it's just silly. It's absolutely silly. When you zoom out and look at the whole world as a whole, when you zoom out and look at the universe, this is so stupid that people waste so much time on this petty stuff. And in my opinion, if your entire identity is wrapped around a political party, you got bigger problems. That's just my opinion. I know I'm going to push some buttons, I'm going to hurt some people's feelings, but when your entire identity is wrapped around a political party like it's a sports team, you need to find a hobby. You need to find some joy in your life. If what brings you joy is watching the news and then going to X or YouTube to talk about it and bash the other side for their opposing views and their opposing talks, you need to get a life. Respectfully.